Good afternoon, good people. David from the Modeller's Friend with a rather belated unboxing video of the new Werk German main battle tank Leopard 2 A7V. I'm really looking forward to this. I built the Abrams, I built the T-72. I would love a Challenger. Please, 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 where's the Challenger, guys? I want to build a 1-16 Challenger. But until that happens, I'll make do with a 1-16 Leopard 2. Again, I like the modern armour. There's only so many Tiger 1s, Tiger 2s, Stugs and Panzer 3s you can build, much as I do enjoy building those. This is an unboxing of the latest one. You forgive me if I'm waffling, going and maybes again. I do try and reduce my usage of that and improve my vocabulary as a whole. But until that happens, sorry, you're stuck with me as I am. To err is human. So, quick look at the box lid. Very nice artwork. Shows the back of the tank rather well. The side, same picture with the model code and more information. Same on that side. On one side of the box, you've got some photographs of the kit itself in its completed stage. Apparently, you've got a couple of options. You can have some more information or some more bump on the turret, which is in training mode, or not. So I'll investigate those as we go. And on this side of the box, look at what camera work. I can see you're impressed. You've got some what if camouflage schemes for the Hungarian, the Danish, the Greek, and the Canadian army. And then you've got some real schemes for the German army or the Bundeswehr. You forgive me if I pronounced that wrong. I'm sure I have. So a couple of nice, interesting variations that you can complete on this particular kit. I have opened this already, simply to remove the sprues from the plastic, but that's as far as I've gone. I haven't gone into any more detail other than that. So, open a box. What we got? Wow, it's quite a size, isn't it? Yes, it's 1-16, so it will be quite a size. But as I said in one of my, or many of my previous videos, I do like building the bigger stuff. I have to build the bigger stuff because my hands don't work very well. But I enjoy building the big scale models, both in armor and aviation. Talking of that, my last video was the unboxing of the Werk Pack 40, and here it is, all bar it missing the wheel because it's just dropped off as I picked it up, and it's held together. There we go, another one dropped off. I haven't attached them because I still got to paint and weather and finish it, so it's held together by clips, because as soon as I undo that clip, the gun falls off its carriage. But this one was a very nice build. Actually, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm doing this one to be towed behind one of their Werk German half-tracks, which will make it a considerably long model. But hopefully, I'll do it with a second one of these in the firing position, as though the half-track has just turned up with the reinforcements to be sighted next to the existing gun in the field. So again, a very nice kit. Didn't take too long to do. A couple of minor issues with it, like the wheels keep falling off. But other than that, nothing a good, rather competent modeler can't overcome and enjoy overcoming during the build. So anyway, that's the Pack 40. I like this one because you had a metal barrel or the plastic barrel. And if there's always a metal option, I'll always take it, because then you don't have to waste time trying to file and sand down the join between the two pieces of plastic. So far, I haven't seen a metal barrel in this particular kit. As I've said, I've unboxed it or taken the lid off to unwrap everything out the individual cellophane bags, but I haven't opened the instructions or the decals yet. So hopefully, there might be a metal barrel hiding somewhere in there. If not, hey ho, you deal with what you've got. I was going to say something else there, but I forget this is YouTube and I can't swear or use profanities. So anyway, nicely detailed, some nice panel lines, nicely molded, nicely detailed from what I can see. I'll try and hold these up best I can because one of you nicely commented and suggested, please, can you zoom in on some of these things? I can't because I haven't got the technology yet, or I haven't learned how to do it on my iPhone remotely. And I'm not going to go up and start tweezing it with the two fingers in case I get it totally wrong. So I'm going to hold things up and hope that they've got it in the shot clear enough until such time as I can justify the expense to go and buy the right tech to allow me to do that. So anyway, top of the hull. There we go. I'll just put that to one side. And next thing out the box is obviously the turret. And break that in half. We've got the track links. Now I can't see the point, or couldn't see the point in opening those. They are what they are. Many sprues, many track links, all the same. So no real surprises there. I'm hoping, probably beyond hope, because again I haven't opened the instructions yet, that there is an interior in this, and it can all be assembled prior. But whether this lack of mounting holes or locating holes is pointing to the fact that there may not be a full interior, we'll find out together as I go through the sprues and then finally open the instructions. But that's quite a sizable turret. I'll just reach the hand here. I know it's not relatively the same era or even the same army, but that's a turret for a T-34 75. Just shows you the difference in then to now, if you like. Modern tanks, modern main battle tanks, as against the Second World War equivalent. I could have had a Tiger, Panther, Stug, Panzer III, Sherman. I'm just looking up at my shelves of completed and half-completed models. I could have reached up for another turret, but the T-34 was the first one to hand, so that's the one I grabbed. Once again, very nice detail. They've got the texture in the armour or the armour plate. Nicely done there. Doesn't seem to require a lot of filing or sanding down, so that will stay complete. Little injection pin mark there and one there, which will need attention unless there's something that goes over. We can but hope. And again, what appears to be locating squares because they've got the weld marks around there for other things to be added as the build progresses. So that's the turret, or at least the turret shell. More pieces here. I haven't got a clue what that is. That's the back, and I'm guessing that's the top or the rear of the... I don't know. That's pure guesswork. Or could it be... Hey, you know, that's what the instructions are for. So, David, don't guess. Read the instructions and it will tell me exactly where that's for. I'm sort of guessing. Let me just go back there. This is me trying to be clever now. And I'm probably going to show myself up, because you probably can tell I don't edit these videos. That might go on something like that and go on the front. I would say it might. I'm not saying it does. It might, it may, possibly go on there. But then again, I'm probably wrong with that, so I will apologise in advance for those that do know where that goes, do know its correct name and location. I'm just one of these guys that are happy to build it, but not so much about all the correct terminology. But I know that goes on the rear. I know that because I'm looking at the photograph of the box, and I recognise that grill work. So again, nice piece, nice clear detail, nice clear lines, and plenty of injection removal marks, but they're all on the inside, not where it matters, on the outside. So thank you for that. And as we progress, that's obviously the inner and the exterior floor of the bottom section of the hull, which isn't, as you probably can see, it doesn't have a one-piece hull or lower hull moulding. So I'm guessing as you go along, you build it, which is exciting because I don't like where everything's made for you. You can see here, there's an awful lot of detail in these side pieces. Now on some of the Panzer 3s and Panzer 4s, or the Stugs even, you have to build the individual pieces and attach them to the side hull. On here, a lot of that's been done for you. So I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing. Please comment whether you agree with that, whether you think that's a good thing. I presume it helps keep the cost down. But it wouldn't really be too difficult to attach these yourselves, would it? If they were done as individual pieces. But again, I'm guessing if they were, the cost would go up. So I get that completely. But anyway, again, nicely detailed. The bolt heads are clear, nicely defined. I'm guessing like these are suspension bump stops. So once again, 2 of those, 1 for either side. Nicely done. Thank you very much. So we go into the sprues themselves. Again, one thing I do like about Das Werk is they put the sprue identifying numbers separately at the top or at the side, at the bottom, depending on which way you're holding it, up or down, left or right. But they're easy to see. They're nice and clear. So when you do have them in your rack, they're nice and easy to find. Again, nicely molded. The injection or the sprue mounting points don't appear to overlap too greatly. On some places, like this one here, you'll have to cut at an angle so you can remove it. But again, a competent modeler won't have any problems or won't have any too many concerns, if any, with removing these pieces from the sprue. Whether that is the same when we go to the smaller ones remains to be seen. Now I'm guessing that's a crew member, or rather various pieces of said crew member. And I think from a very brief look at the exterior of the box, you can have 2 options here, mainly with the helmet or the headset. Again, that's only me looking at the box. It's not me looking at the instructions. So forgive me if I'm wrong on that one. But anyway, that's the crew 1.2. Don't know why I said that. Again, sprue identifier E. Some rather large components. Oh, look into my eyes. Not around the eyes, not around the eyes, into the eyes, into the eyes. Yeah, you're under. Sorry, reference there. Some of you will get it, some of you won't. I'm not going to explain it. But anyway, look into my eyes. Right, not around the eyes, but into the eyes. So I'm guessing they're part of the cooling fans. Again, I'm probably horribly and heinously wrong with a lot of these guesses. But hey, I will still continue to guess. Lots of individual plastic to be taken off. But again, nothing to lose any sleep over whatsoever. Nice panel lines, nice crisp mouldings. To be fair, I think that's only fair. With a new kit that hasn't had thousands upon thousands of sprues put through it as yet, to be nice and crisp and fresh. I mean, like I said, we are quite quick out the box with these. 2 sprues of the identifiers of K. So there's no point in showing you both of them because they are both identical. But once again, nice small parts. Some very small like shackles or securing brackets there. But once again, nicely detailed, clear holes, clear bolts. And they will, I'm sure, look lovely when the model is complete. Moving swiftly on, to Sprue L. We've got the stock of a machine gun and the cooling fans or more further components of said machine gun. And what else we got? Nothing that immediately jumps out as easily identifiable. But again, lots of little pieces, some very little, which I will struggle with. So I'll have to get my tweezers and my magnifying lenses out to fit those. But again, it keeps the build nice and interesting, doesn't it? If it was all big pieces, it would be very boring. So, moving on. M. Yeah, more pieces. Nice details in the springs. There, you forgive the fingernails. I'm 53 years of age and I still bite my fingernails. Disgusting habit, disgusting. As I keep being told. But anyway, sorry. I'm going off on a complete tangent because I'm stalling, trying to identify where all these pieces go. And I have no idea. So another sprue of another more indefined pieces. Go through here, what we got here. G. Once again, another sprue, lots of pieces, no idea where they'll go. The instructions, I'm positive, will tell me. Some of them are getting even smaller and even fiddlier. Again, well, fiddly for me, not fiddly for everybody, I'm sure. But again, there's quite a few small pieces on this kit. And they keep coming. They go from half decent to nice, manageable, medium-sized pieces to the rather small fiddly. But again, nothing that immediately jumps out and identifies where or how they are. Again, I'm guessing here this might be the transport gun cradle that would go on the front or the back of the tank. I don't know which way the turret would face when these are transported. Probably facing backwards, actually. I'll have to research that. Oh, two the same. Now I know what these bits are. These are the torsion bars and the idler or the jockey wheel. Jockey wheel, idler wheel, trainer wheel. I suppose depends on which book you read or which historian or tank expert you speak to. The wheels, anyway. I'm sure these will go at the back or the front. The instructions will tell me. And these will be the suspension arms and the torsion bars for the suspension. And you've got one for the left, one for the right. But they are both identified as H. Another sprue here, which is A2. Now, these are I'm getting straight away. These like stowage bags. See, there's no fooling me. I know my stuff. Very, very nicely molded. Actually, again, it looks like a blanket or a tarpaulin type blanket. No, it's a tarpaulin cover, David. Come on, get it right. Stowage bags, kit bags, etc. Whether they go on the inside or the outside remains to be seen. But again, very nicely molded, very genuine, and looks realistic, and will be fun to paint and weather, and basically to grime up to make them look real. Oh, looking forward to that. And again, the smoke canister, magazines, and lots of other pieces. Once again, I have no idea where they will go, but the instructions will tell. Another large pieces, I'm guessing these will go at the side. Yeah, they will do, because I'll recognise those parts from the photograph. And again, nothing too alarming to report there. All the sprue attaching or moulding points are easily trimmable without causing too many problems to the parts and component sections themselves. Just a final bit of trimming up, but hey, that's what we build kits for. My apologies. Getting to the end now, and more exterior components here. again, because I've seen them on the photograph, not that I know where they are, but nothing too fiddly. But once again, hopefully you can see, very nicely produced, very nicely finished, absolutely zero flash on any component at all that I've found or examined throughout this video. But again, as I said, with a new mold, I wouldn't expect there to be any flash because the mold hasn't worn out yet. But at the same time, having no flash is no bad thing. And again, once the grille there, done in plastic rather than photo etch, nice clear defined lines and nice gaps, and that will look good when completed. We've got the barrel. We have the barrel, so at least they've got a plastic variant of it. Again, some moulding that's got to come off on the edges, so a little bit of trimming. That will be needed before the two barrel sections are attached, which may leave some filling required when it gets through, because from what I can see, I haven't seen a metal barrel yet. But at least we've got a barrel. Now, forgive me, I'm no expert, and the reason I haven't opened these is because these are the wheels, or the road wheels, and the tyres, and the hub covers, etc. There doesn't seem an awful lot of point to opening those until I need them. The same goes for all of these, which are the track links, the road tyres, etc., etc. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 sprues of those. So once again, just in case any of these might have broken loose, there doesn't seem an awful lot of point in opening those until needed. So we get into the bit of the box that I haven't explored yet. These are all the plastic lens or the clear parts, which will be your vision lenses, your glasses for your vision ports, and your periscopes, etc., etc. So clear sections are as clear sections do. Again, nicely done. There's no point in opening those again because I don't want to lose anything. But there's definitely no metal barrel in this kit. But I haven't opened these yet, as you can probably tell. Thank you, Werk. Thank you for not too much leaving this all queued up in the smallest and tightest of bundles. So actually that can be used virtually straight out of the box for the tow cable. And we've got some interesting decals here. Again, I'm guessing for many of them to be done as per the what if liveries that were appeared on the sides of the box. I'm guessing again with the Canadian maple leaves there. But most of them will be for the German military variant. Nice clear decals, not too many of them, so I can't see too many problems with that. What have we got here? We've got 2 pieces of photo etch, a little bit flimsy or a little bit dented, where something has pressed against them and pressed down, so that will need some metal. Can you see that? Not the best. So again, maybe want to reconsider your packaging options, that you don't put all the heavy plastic on top of the flimsy metal bits. You can see dent, 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 and a few dents on here, which will need rolling out or incorporating into the model. I mean, it's a military vehicle. It's going to get dented and thumped and damaged, isn't it? I know with my Panther that I've built, after doing some research, I noticed on the model, it's not the model, the tank that's in the Tank Museum in Bovington in the UK, has its grills over the engine fans dented where the crew will have walked across them. So I've done the same on mine. I like those little touches, and I just like adding that little bit of, should I say je ne sais quoi? I don't know what. Sorry, couldn't resist it. So anyway, before I go to the instructions, I'm going to put all of this back in the box so I don't lose anything as I'm going. And then as soon as I start this build, I will lay them all out in my sprue rack, to keep them organised. Oh, that's just a T-34 turret gone for a Burton. Should really put stuff back. Note to self. As I go. So what I will do, I will put the lid back on, and hopefully this will raise the instructions up a little bit so we can read through them. Colour chart at the beginning with the colour codes and the names. Read before assembly. Yes, I get that. So again, the Das Werk German main battle tank Leopard 2 A7V. A7V. Model number DW16024. Now I do like the Das Werk instruction books. I always find them nice and clear, nicely laid out. Again, we've got the main index of the sprues. Not overly impressed with this one, however, because with my terrible eyesight, you can't actually see what sprue they are, i.e. whether that's sprue A, sprue Z, sprue 1A, or whatever. On some of the others, these are printed larger, as you probably know, and they are a lot easier to identify, especially if you are going back through the instructions to try and find an individual sprue, to find an individual component. So a mark dropped for that Das Werk, unfortunately. But again, here we go. Nothing too obviously difficult jumping out. A few marks to be trimmed as we go along. But again, it's torsion bar suspension. If you built a Panzer III, a Panzer IV, a Panther, a Tiger, a King Tiger with different turret on, a Jagdpanther, a Jagdtiger, or pretty much any Axis armour, you'll know about torsion bar suspension, and you'll know how much fun it is to build. But again, obviously, you can see the same sides and the bottom section of the hull we came across earlier are now coming together to form the lower section of the hull. So it's all falling into place, if you pardon the expressions, or the cliches rather. Now, this is one thing I do. I always leave the tracks off, and I always build them last. One, because I've got to be in a certain frame of mind to build the tracks. You've got to have a lot of patience to build some of the tracks, some of these models. But I always think it's quite an achievement when they're complete. But again, so you've got the road wheels and the idler sockets, or the name escapes me. Forgive me. Please comment, like, or subscribe, or all three, and point out my failings, as some of you have done in the past. Trust me, I don't take it personally. I do like the growth here at the Modeller's Friend. I do like the development and the sharing of knowledge. And whatever the hell those wheels are correctly called. I know they're not jockey wheels, but I can't for the life of me think. Actually, with the sprocket or the tooth guard, I believe they're the main drive wheels. Because at the front, you've got the smaller jockey wheel at the front there, or the guide wheel, and not the road wheels, the guide, whatever it is. Again, comment and tell me, please. But other than that, you see some nice, once again, clear instructions, different opposite code numbers, nice, clear, concise part identifiers. So can't see too many problems there. As we're going along, the rear section onto the rear of the hull, pieces now starting going on the upper hull section. So as we're building here, I'm definitely not seeing an engine, a gearbox, an interior, or anything of that nature yet. And we're up to stage 14 so far. But then again, as I said, I haven't opened these instructions yet, so I could be wrong. But as we go in, we're still on the outside of the hull. Many pieces, many components to go on there. So that's still interesting to do. As we're going, we're still going. Oh, I got that bit right. Look, it is the gun transport carriage, and it goes on the rear. There we go. So when the tank's being transported, the turret faces backwards. I think most modern battle tanks, their turrets face backwards now. Looking at this section here, step number 19, mounting the top to the bottom. Obviously, there is no interior, which I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing. I mean, I'm in the UK, and this kit cost me about £160, which in anybody's market is a lot of money. So yes, I know you've got development and tooling and all the rest of it, and so on and so forth. And for a Leopard 2, the appeal might not be as great as it would be for a King Tiger or a Tiger 1 or whatever it may be. But it's still modern armour, so it will appeal to a great many people, as I said in the beginning of the video. If they made a Challenger 2 or a Chieftain, I would buy them in a heartbeat, and I would buy more than one. I can promise you that, just because. And again, the same would apply to, say, a Matilda 2 or a Churchill. Once again, in 1-16, they would be phenomenal models, and I would buy many of those. And I would sell I wouldn't sell a kidney, but you know what I mean. So again, 160 quid with no interior. I'm in two minds about that. I've paid close to 300 for my Jag Tiger or my Jag Panther, and they've got full interiors, and I've said it on some of my videos. I build the interiors, I don't weather them. I would just like the option to have either a kit with the full interior, which, yeah, if you've got to pay a bit more, c'est la vie, or without the interior, you pay a bit less. I personally would like to have that choice, not dictated to. That's not fair. Not have to wait until you open the box to find out whether it's got an interior or not. And as I said before, on the inside of the turret, there were no locating holes for anything obvious, not even a turret basket. So I'm not really surprised that there isn't an interior on the turret either. Or at least, when we're at stage 27, I can't see one having started its build yet. But going on to some of the kit bags that were on the sprues earlier, they look like they go on the inside. So it may be just appearing through one of the hatches, you'll see something that resembles an interior. Just so anybody looking down past the crew member might see a little detail. Let's say a little detail. Not a lot, but a little. And yes, as I've said it on some of my other videos, once you put the hatch lid on, covers on, you can't see interior inside anyway. Once again, I'd like, as the modeler, to be given that choice. If it's got an interior, I'll build it. I won't weather it. I won't paint it. I'll just build it. I prefer concentrating on the exterior of a model rather than the interior, but that's my own preference. But again, definitely, I can see the instruction book is getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and we're still nowhere near anything that resembles an interior or ammunition or anything of that nature. Again, you can see the gun mantle just goes straight into two slots. Similar thing to the Tiger 1, which I built from one of my other videos, which was which was yeah, I think it was about 80 quid. So what do you expect? It's not going to have an interior, a 1:16 model for 80 quid. It's not going to have a great deal of detail on it. It was still a nice build. Well, most of it was. But I would as far as the Tiger One's concerned, I would sooner save up and buy, say, the Andy's Hobbies variant, because it's a more interesting and to a certain extent challenging build. You haven't just got the gun mantlet on 2 locating pins and stuck in pre-molded sections with no other detail. But I dwell too much on the lack of interior. From what appears to be on the exterior, it appears to be a very detailed and an interesting build coming, or going forward rather. So yeah, no metal barrel on the gun. Whether there'll be something or whether an aftermarket producer will get onto that bandwagon and start producing one. Same as the MG machine gun. I always tend to buy a 3D printed or 3D resin variant of those because I think they look a little bit better, especially as it's quite an obvious feature on any armoured vehicle, i.e. the machine gun on the top. But yeah, turret goes straight onto the hull as you'd expect it to. And finally, last bit of detail, yes, the tarpaulin, etc. does go on the exterior. Some goes on the inside, some goes on the outside. This is the option I was referring to that you could see on the side of the box. That's for a training module. I believe that's like a fire control or something that suggests a hit during training. Again, whether I'm right or wrong on that one, please tell me. But again, there's the crew member. I'm not sure where he goes actually, because you've got the variants with the hatch closed. And here we are with the final camouflage. Actually, joking aside, it makes a change to build a German armour that's not got the dark yellow on as its fundamental, or it's dark red. So that makes a pleasant change. And as we go through, Canadian Army, Greek Army, again, the what if variants. Oh, I quite like that. That's a nice scheme, an interesting scheme. I might do the Greek what if actually. I'll decide when I'm done. Either way, I'm going to need some green paint, unless I do the Greek one, in which case I'm going to need grey. And the back of the box, 1 of 35. That's the pack 40 that I showed you earlier. 1 of 16. That's the half track that's going to tow said pack 40. I've gone for the smaller variant of the half track because it is going to be a very long model if I were to use the larger half track. 1 to 35, 1 to 35, 1 to 32. I'm interested in the aircraft, not 1 to 35. Unfortunately, say with my hands and sausage fingers, they're just too fiddly and too small for me to do. So hence the larger scale. Anyway, I've gone through that many times before. So once again, thank you for commenting, liking and subscribing on my videos. I do hope you find them useful, informative and enjoyable to watch. As you can probably guess, I do these unscripted, so forgive me for waffling and losing my way at many places and for getting the detailed descriptives incorrect many times, I'm sure. But hell, that's what I do. I enjoy doing them, and hopefully you enjoy watching them, liking them, commenting and subscribing. There will be a slight change in some of the other videos coming up, where I'll actually move away from some armour and go towards some aircraft. I had a delivery this morning of a 1 to 24 Japanese Zero. So that will hopefully be my next video, the unboxing of that, a 1 to 24 Zero, which I'm looking forward to. But this is going to be my next build, this one, and then I will move on to aircraft. Because, hey, my hobby room, or my new hobby room, or hobby shed, is very close to being finished, which means I'm going to start my model railway layout, and there'll be videos featuring the build as I plan, build and construct and develop and grow my model railway. So there will be a little bit of a transition away from models for a little while. But again, let me know what you'd like me to continue doing. The idea of the modeller's friend is that I cover many aspects of the modelling, not just the plastics. As I explained in some of my videos, there's a reason why I've done so many plastic videos. I'm not going to dwell on that yet. Again, I'm not going to bore you if you haven't watched and understood why. I'm just going to stop talking now. So once again, this is David from the Modeller's Friend. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, and through sitting through this. Once again, I hope you found it useful. So in the meantime, stay cool, because it is silly or ridiculously hot out there at the moment. I hope the noise of the fan hasn't put you off too greatly. And in the meantime, David from the Modeller's Friend saying thank you once again. Happy building, happy modelling, and stay safe, guys. Be good.